In this video, I'm going to introduce you to GeoLibre, a lightweight cloud native GIS platform for visualizing, exploring, and analyzing geospatial data. And this is the most powerful software I have ever built, but it's also the easiest one to use. You can run it just using a web browser or as a native desktop app, or you can also run it in a Jupyter notebook environment. And it's very easy. So one application that runs on multiple platforms. In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to get started using it. And it's completely free and open source. There's no account, there's no server, anything. So the web browser version runs just as a static website on GitHub pages. And you can also just clone and run it on a local computer. So everything is basically, you can run offline. It's the data stay private. And so nothing leaves your browser unless you request some online data. And so I'm going to show you how to get started. The link is in the video description below. You just need to go to geolibre.app. And so this is the landing page here. I have a lot of tutorial documents I'm going to go through in this video. You can also click the upper right corner to take you to the GitHub repository. And this is the one that I have been building for several weeks non-stop. So I basically work 24/7 just working this because I really want to get all the features that I want. So finally today I released version 1.0 and it has tons of features that you don't need a desktop GIS. All you need is just a web browser. It can do a lot of things that you do daily, and it also support all the cloud native GIS geospatial format. So you can use it to render vector data, raster data, 3D tiles, and it's very powerful. So let's go back to the admin here. As I mentioned, there are 3 ways you can try it out. You can run it just in a web browser. So you can come here, just click the link, and then right click. It should take you to this web version here. So this one is runs in the browser. You can also run it using your cell phone. So it has responsive layout to small screens. So when you're in a small screen, you will change the icon, you will hide all the panels, so you can still see the map. And it's very responsive, very powerful. One thing you can try here, upper right corner, you can turn this one, switch to light mode if you want to use light mode, or by default, it's going to adaptive to your system. So if right now my operating system, I'm in dark mode, so that's why it's in dark mode. So this is the first way to run this one. I will show you how to more later. And the second way is to use as a desktop app. So you can click the link here. It will take you to the page, and then you can click view releases. It's going to take you to the GitHub releases. So here, this is where you can download the application to install on your computer. Keep in mind, right now, I don't have a signed version for Mac OS or Windows, but I'm trying to get that published in the Windows store and also Mac store. So hopefully it will be easier, but for now, you need to change the security settings to allow it to run on a computer. But for me, for example, I can run it as a desktop app. And one nice thing about this one is it's a very lightweight, so it's only like 40 megabyte. Compared to other desktop application, you might take like gigabyte, for example, a couple gigabyte to install QGIS or ArcGIS, and this one is 100 times smaller, but it's very powerful. So for example, I can just, for my Linux computer, I can click here, and then I can just download this one to my computer here, just 33 megabyte, and just take seconds to download. And after that, I can just open this one on my computer, but you need to make sure that you have the permission to run this one as an executable. So I just right click, allow executing the program, and that's it. And after that, I can just open my terminal. Then I can just GeoLibre desktop. And underscore, okay, the file name is different. And take a look. So right now, this one is running as a native desktop app. You have the icon here in the status bar, and everything is kind of the same as the web version, but the desktop version has a lot more functionality. So sometimes if you need some heavy geoprocessing, you might want to run it in the desktop because they have additional function for you to run Python program. I will show you later when we get into that, but this is essentially how easy it is. Just download the program and then run it as an executable on Linux, on Mac, and also on Windows computer. And this is the second way. And the third way to run that one is a Jupyter Notebook. So if you want to try it out, I will go to the getting started here and come here just to click the icon, open in Google Colab here. And so you can just run it in Google Colab or any Jupyter Notebook environment. So here I can just control / and then just install the package. This is a very lightweight, so all need to, there's not many dependencies, and just take seconds, then you install the package, and after that you can just click to run. It will generate the map the same as the one that I showed you earlier, and take a look. So very cool. You can open project, you can add data, you can do all the same thing, just like you are running the web version in the browser or running the desktop version. And you can add data, you can run, let me switch to the dark mode here. You can also add any geospatial data. For example, you can just add a GeoJSON here, and it will show up on the map directly. You can add vector data. I can add XYZ tile web services. For example, I can load the OpenStreetMap, or I can add any raster data here. For example, I'm loading the NLCD lane cover. So this one is 1.5 gigabyte. And take a look, it loads nicely, and you don't need a server, so everything is running directly within Jupyter Notebook, and it's all using the cloud native format. Very powerful. You can also save the project, or basically bidirectional. So everything you do here within the map, you can get the coordinates, you can get the center, you can get how many data layer. So it's very dynamic. You can also save the project. For example, after you customize the data, you can just save this one as a JSON file, and then you can load the data back to the map. So for example, then I create a new map, but I just load the same project onto the map, and all the data will be preserved. So take a look. So now I have the same data here. I have the raster data layer, I have the vector, and everything is preserved. And you can see the power up here. One application runs everywhere, in the desktop, in the web, in your cell phone, or even within a Jupyter Notebook environment. So certainly this is something going to be very helpful. It's going to lower the bar for accessing geospatial data. Okay, so first let me go through here the website here. So once you are on the website, you are feel free to explore like the user guide, tutorial, and this is going to be improved in the future. But for now, you can go through here, take a look at some of the key features. So the app is actually built on top of MapLibre. So the engine rendering the map is using MapLibre. It's the open source Python package, JavaScript, TypeScript package for rendering geospatial data, and it's kind of similar to Mapbox. It's built on top previously Mapbox, but right now it's called MapLibre, and it's under active development. Very powerful. So I'm going to use this one as a rendering engine. But we also have wrote the UI, so this using React, TypeScript. The desktop app is built using Tauri, and this is why the package is so small compared to Electron. So it's like almost 10-20 times smaller, and because it was built using Rust, it's very powerful, very fast. We can also use DuckDB for doing some geospatial analysis, and deck.gl for doing some like web GPU rendering for visualization. And here are some of the key features. You can load any vector data, raster data easily. You can just drag and drop the data to the map. It also has a plug-in system that allows you to extend the functionality of the application. So if there's something that's not available, you can build on top of that and then act as a kind of like QGIS plugin or ArcGIS toolbox. There you can extend the application. And it support beyond just vector, raster. You also support all kind of web services. So XYZ, WMS, and then all the cloud native format, for example, GeoParquet, PMTiles, or even some of the JAR, Cloud Optimized GeoTIFF, 3D tiles, or you can even connect to your database, DuckDB or PostgreSQL database. You can also run data processing using Whitebox or some of the built-in vector and raster processing tools. It has a SQL workspace, allows you to query data using DuckDB, and also some of the vector and raster data. You can run it in Python environment. So I don't have time to get into every single functionality in here. This is just a short video to show you how to get started. So again, I'm going to open the live demo. So this is the easiest way to open and then take a look. Or you can also, if you come back to here, let me show you, go to get started. There's also live demo that with some preview data. And this one loads some of the 3D tiles. So you can see here, it loads very, very quickly. This is the map canvas. So I can zoom in, can zoom out. If you press Control on your keyboard, then drag your mouse, you can rotate the map to different angles. And on the left side here, this is the kind of the layout. On the left side is the layers panel. So this one is where you can control the layer visibility and also the opacity. So for example, I can turn this one on and off. I can change the opacity here by dragging the slider. You can also move the layer, now. So sometimes if you want to move the layer, you can certainly do that easily. You can also drag and drop. So here, if you drag the layer and then release your mouse, it's going to place the layer where it's going to show you the dark blue line. Okay, so let me drag this one back here. And besides up and down, you can also click this one to zoom to the layer. So if you click this one, you can zoom to the layer. And this one works for both vector data, raster data. You can also edit vector data. I will show you how to edit vector data later. And on the right here shows you some of the styling. So this one allows you to change the styling. It can be vector data, it can be raster data. So here, let me show you how to get started. So when you open this one, you can go to create new project and then just click new. From here, you can choose one of the base maps. So the first one, the Liberty, is from Open Free Map. So it has 3D, or you can just use any regular one over here. So I can click using the position. You can also use your custom style sheet. So if you have a base map that's hosted somewhere, you can just use your custom map as well. I'm going to click create, don't save. Now you're going to back into this basic mapping here. Once you have the base map, you can start visualizing data. You can go to the add data here, and there are lots of data format that it support. But the easiest way is if you already have some data on your computer, you can simply just drag and drop data. So for example, I have maybe a simple GeoJSON. So let me find some vector file here. I'm going to show you. Let's see. Where's my sample data? So I have a building polygon, for example, building covering Las Vegas. So here I can just simply drag and drop the file onto the map and it renders instantly. So from here, then you can start change the visualization. So upper left corner here, again, this is the layer. You can also do the identity. So if you move the map somewhere else, just click the icon, it will zoom to this particular layer. The second one is the identifier. So I can click, enable it. Now I can click on the map. You can select here the identifier to see each feature. And the other thing is the attribute table. So if you look at the bottom left corner here, if you click this icon to expand it, so this one shows you the attribute table. So allows you to basically see the entire attribute table. One thing you can do here is upper right zoom to selection. So if you check this box, then when you select any features on the in the attribute table, it will highlight the corresponding features on the map. And you can also edit the attribute table. So here, there's a button here, edit. So if you have your mouse, just click edit, then it will be able to enable this one, and you can change anything that you like. For example, I can do ABC, whatever, you can type anything here. And after that, just click the save button. It will save this one. And then once you're done, you can export the data. So there's export button here. You can export this one as a GeoJSON, GeoParquet, or just as a CSV file. So that means it allows you to edit the attribute table. And right now, if I hover my mouse, select this attribute right here. If you click the identifier, take a look. So it's being synchronized between the map and also the attribute table. But this is just one modifying the attribute table. If you want to also modify the geometry, you can do that as well. So click this three dot here and then just enable edit geometry. Then it's going to open the editing toolbar here automatically. So from here, then you can start doing all the geometry editing. I can simply drag and move any geometry around. I can change the vertices here, right? I can rotate them if I want to, and I can delete them if I don't need them here. And you can also copy it. So there are a lot of new features here. I can even create a new polygon. So if in a new building, I can create a new polygon here, and it will automatically complete. And once you're done, once you're done, just click here, save. So there's a button here to save this one, and take a look. So it's being saved back to the update here, also in the attribute table. So it's bidirectional and it's very powerful. So this is very easy to use. If you need to visualize any vector data, this is probably something you can try out pretty easily. And the second one is you can drag any vector data format supported by DuckDB spatial extension. So under the hood is going to do all the conversion for you. And it also support raster data. So here I can just drag maybe a DM onto the map, and you see it renders instantly. But if you want more customization, you want to use this one because you can change the color map and other stuff. So now let me recreate a map. I'm going to show you. Oh, by the way, so you can also save the project. So for example, here, after you're done, I can save this one to my computer, and it's going to save as a project file. What I recommend here is to go to upper right corner here, right? And you give a name for your project. For example, this is the demo. And then if you click the save, you should use the project title as the file name, right? Demo.geolibre.geojson. It's basically just a JSON file. So, but just for the convention, you also use the GeoLibre, so you know it's a project file. Then just click save, and after that, I can create a new project. For example, here. Then I can open the file. So open from file. You can also open from URL. So open the file, and then I can just open this project file. It should reload. Oops, interesting. So the raster is not saved. I might need to look into that. Or because earlier I didn't save. Anyway, so this is how you can easily create new map and then save the project. Next, let me create a new one, and I'm going to show you how to load data directly from here. So click Add Data button, and then go to vector data layer. So vector and raster, so these probably the two most common one that you're going to use. I can click this vector data layer. So from here, you can either use the sample data, the Parquet file that I have in here, or you can just drag and drop the file. And the other thing is also allows you to do the streaming. So this one is particularly powerful because you can stream large data set without having to download the data. So first, let me just try this one using the GeoParquet file, and you will see the status here is going to basically lazy loading the DuckDB spatial extension and then render the map in here, and it's done. And I can click here. You can even change this one, the opacity. You can change the color, everything directly from the panel here. You can change the opacity, for example, here, right? You can remove it, and this one under the hood is being converted to GeoJSON. So that's why you can also do the identifier, right? So let me enable this one. Now if I click here, I can see everything directly from the map. And oh, they kind of duplicate. Interesting. So here, this is showing you. Because earlier I load two datasets. Or MapLibre, but I need to look into that. Oh, I think I know the issue. So when I enable, you can enable the pop up. So you can disable this one. So it's going to using this main one. So that should just give you one pop up here. And you can also click the metadata. I'm going to show you where the file coming from, and also some of the basic stuff, the style that you use to render the map. So this one is useful when you save the project. It's going to save all the visualization directly to here. And this is one, but like I said, you can also do the streaming. So you can find a large data set from the internet and then just do the streaming. So in that way, it doesn't download the entire file. It's going to basically render the file on the fly. So let me find a sample data set so that you can try it out. So for example, here, I'm going to find a sample data set here on source code, and I have a Parquet file, for example, a global grid. So for example, this one is sorted, so it's faster, and it's 180 gigabytes. So I can just copy the URL here and then come back to this one. Let me remove the countries layer and I paste. So for this one, I'm going to choose the streaming. So in that way, it's just doing the loading. So it's creating the vector tiles on demand, and it doesn't have to download the 180 gigabyte. It might take a couple seconds because it's doing basically all the tiling, indexing, but it should work. So technically, you can use this one to load data with couple gigabytes. So you see here, it's already done, and this one has a couple million polygons. And when I move my mouse, you see it's going to load the tile. So you can also see here generating tiles, and this is dynamic and it's very powerful. So it allows you to basically stream large vector data directly from the internet without having to download any data. And you can also click your mouse. You can see all the attribute table here, right? So you can use the render gigabyte of data without any problem, without having to download data, and super fast. Everything runs directly in your browser, and this is the power of cloud native geospatial format, because basically combination of the DuckDB and also GeoParquet file. So feel free to explore, and also you can change the visualization. Like I said, if you select a data layer on the right here, you will see the side panel. So this one allows you to, you can even control the minimum visualization. So for example, at the bottom right now showing you here, this is zoom 7, zoom level 7. Right, so if you don't want to show this one when it's in a low zoom level, I can change it maybe to zoom level 9 and just hit enter. Okay, this might be a bug. It's supposed to be hidden. Okay, I need to look into that. Also allows you to change the layer. For example, you want to have the label on top of the rendering layer. I can select, for example, here, maybe airport. And take a look. So now all the label will be rendering on top of the vector tile. And you can also do 3D extrusion, or you can change the color. I don't have time to get into every single detail today, but I will show maybe in a follow-up video how to do that. So this is how you can render large vector data. Next one, raster data. So you can just paste the URL to any cloud optimized GeoTIFF. Then just click load. It should be able to load the data. So here, this one is the 30-meter lane cover data, 1.5 gigabyte. I can load it without any problem. It's very, very fast. And even more powerful, you can also load it from your local computer. So here, I can just click, select the file, and then go to my local computer. It's the same one, 1.5 gigabyte here. And just click open, see how quick it is. Less than 1 second. And I can change here. I can load this one. I can load another one. So if I need to load the DM, I can open the DM, and the DM allows you to change the color map. So let me remove the NFC. So here I can change the color map to something else. I can maybe change to terrain. You see, it's being updated on the fly. You can also visualize multi-spectral band data. Just select just the RGB. So this one, because I'm just using the single band, so that's why it's in here. And you can also inspect, for example, I can click my mouse, I can inspect the pixel values of the raster that I just loaded here. And you can also change the stretch or if you want to. So it's very, very easy to use. So you can use it to load data from local computer, data from the internet. Okay. You can also do delimited text. Data layer. So this is useful if you have like coordinates, latitude and longitude. So just passing the URL, or you can just select a file, for example, from your local computer, and then you can just load this one. For example, I have a file, US cities, and that one has latitude and longitude. You see here, you can see the latitude and longitude. And after that, just click add data layer. You will be able to load the data layer to the map pretty quick. And after that, you can click here to enable the identifier, and then I can click here. Or this zoom to the data layer, so you might want to turn off this one. But you can certainly see it's similar to what we did earlier. It's the attribute table, so I can change it in here directly. So this is how you can visualize coordinates data. You can also do GPS. So this is sometimes you have some GPS tracks, and this the file extension is GPX, I can also just add the data layer. See here, so you will be able to load the track and also the waypoints similarly in here. MapLibre, so this one works. You need the desktop version to run this one. So this is how you can load some of the file base, but you can also use it to load XYZ services. So for example, I can just click use a sample. If you have the URL, just click, and then you should be able to load XYZ. So for example, this is the USGS national map, right? And you can also switch to the 3D. And this is the power of using some of this. The rendering engine is very powerful, so it's not just a 2D map. Let me remove all the data layer here. And you can also do WFS. So this one is a web feature service. And one unique feature about this one is you can get updated data, so you can set a refresh threshold. So for example, this one, I can use this sample data set and it can retrieve 1,000 features. Just click add, and then you should be able to load the data to the map. And after that, if this web feature service, they keep updating the data, then you should be able to just set a refreshing threshold. It's not working very well right now. Maybe the server is down, I'm not quite sure, but you can try it later. And so it's a vector data layer, so you can leggy update. So let me show you here. Maybe I can, oops. Somehow it's frozen. Interesting. So let me add this one, maybe try it again. I want to show you the feature. It might be stuck. I need to look into that. Maybe let me drag GeoJSON here, right? So this, assume this one maybe from the website, for example, somewhere maybe here, Las Vegas building. So maybe you can host the data somewhere on the internet, but you keep pushing the data. So for me, I can create a new map here just to show you. And I can collect the egg data. So from here, I paste the URL. So this is the GeoJSON URL with this one. Then click this one here. Oops. Oh, it's only support web services. Interesting. Yes. I found so many bugs today. Let me drag this one, see if it works. Okay, so that means you need the web feature service. Right now, I think probably support the GeoJSON, the URL. Probably something has changed, so it's kind of right now not working. But if you add the web feature service here, you can set a refresh interval. That means you can pull the latest data every couple seconds or every couple minutes, and the data will be updated here on the map. A couple more, you can also support like ArcGIS server feature services. So here, for example, I can just load the data directly from ArcGIS web services. Anything else? So GeoParquet or flat GeoBuff. So this is all cloud native. You can also do PMTiles. So for example, I can load the PMTiles, and this one loads the Overture global building data, and it's like many gigabytes. And so I can load it directly onto the map easily here. Let me show you. I can, but you need to zoom in to see more details. For example, I can zoom to New York here, and you can see the entire building footprint from Overture maps. And the cool thing about this, you can change the visualization. So here I can change the color, for example, to blue or something like that. I can use 2D, I can use 3D visualization, whichever you like. And besides 2D visualization, if you switch to the 3D extrusion, so see this one, I can even render this one in 3D just with a couple click. It also support a lot of like equations, advanced expression. I don't have time to show you here, but you can try it out. So allows you to render data in 3D. Right now, you see some of the artifacts in here because there's the base map also has 3D. So if you turn the base map, oops. Or maybe let me create a new one without a 3D extrusion, and then I can load the PMTiles again here. Oh, the base map is turned off. Oh, I might need to fix it so that it doesn't zoom to the middle of the ocean. So let me come here to see again, right? And now I can just switch to 3D extrusion. So take a look. And if you press Control on your keyboard, then you should be able to see the data render in 3D. And there are a couple more here. ZAR data, LiDAR, for example, you can render LiDAR data. So you can just click load, use the load the sample data set here, and you can load LiDAR data point cloud directly from the web without having to download the data. And it's very, very powerful, very performant. I can also change to maybe RGB if your LiDAR have the RGB classification in there. So you can see here, pretty cool. You can also do 3D tiles. For example, here, 3D tiles. Just add the tile set and then zoom to it. Right. And so this is the same one that I showed you at the very beginning. Oh, you also have some building here. So let me turn off the building data layer. All right, so this is how you can render different type of data. And the last tool basically allows you to render data from DuckDB. So for example, I can connect your, just paste the DuckDB URL so you can host the DuckDB file on the internet. Then just click load. You're able to connect to the DuckDB. You can see the progress bar here. It's going to open the DuckDB. And then you can find out what kind of data tables in there. So here, this is NYC data. I have a couple of those. I can click this one, maybe the neighborhood, and then just scroll down. You can change some visualization, the settings in here or the query, or you can just click run query, and it's going to basically render this one directly on the map here, right? And I have the data loaded easily directly on the map. And I can change another one here, for example, homicide, run again, you want to have the point. And you can get the idea, right? You can query data easily just using the web version and also the PostgreSQL, but this one require a desktop version. So you need to run deck one using this one here, then it should work. So I can click here, showing you, right? I can connect to the database, or you can start a sidecar, Python sidecar that allows you to access more computing power. Okay, so that's about like running some basic data, and the video is getting very long here. But I maybe we create another video showing how to use some data processing. But I want to quickly show you some of the controlling here. So allows you to add more stuff onto the map. For example, the scale control, and or even you can turn on the terrain control. Or you can also search button, right? So here I can search anything. For example, Knoxville, here where I'm living in, I can click and then you should be able to zoom to the location. You can also add a color bar here. For example, if you add any raster data layer, let me create a new one here. And then, so for example, if I create a DM, this is the visualization, or maybe I can, let me remove this one because I want to show you some of the cool features. So go to the add raster, and then I can just select my DM. From here, I can change it to maybe terrain. Right. So here you can see kind of the values here, the visualization. And if you want to show that one on the map, I can do that. So I can go to the color bar here. And then, so from here, you can select vertical, horizontal. I make horizontal, bottom right. And I can change this one, the visualization, to terrain. And this is where you can customize it. For example, this is 0 to 1000, and then just click add. So take a look at the in the bottom right corner. You will see this one. You can also add a label, for example, elevation. Update. Now you have this elevation, and then you can also have a unit, for example, meter, and update. Right. And the nice thing about this is when you save the project, it will also save all the settings. So the map, the visualization, and also all the color bar, all the stuff. You can also add a legend, for example. So you have lane cover. I can just do the easy here, or you can also import it one as a dictionary. So, and then just click add. Then you have this one here in the lower left corner. You can also add HTML. For example, sometimes you want to add some basic information to the map. You can also use the HTML here, and then just click add. Then it will show you something to one of the corners. I can remove them if I don't need them. Also, you can do the measurement. So sometimes if you need to measure the distance or something, you can just click here and then start. Then you can start hovering your mouse. It will measure the distance here, or you can also measure the area. Okay, so just gonna start. Okay, finish, and then you can clear them. So basic measurement, you can also do a bookmark. If you have a certain location, right? For example, here, this is location A, and then just click add, and then you move to another location somewhere else, right? And then maybe this one is B, add. So from here, now I can switch back and forth pretty easily. Give you some bookmarks. Basically, you can import bookmark. You can also export bookmark as well. And then also you can have the view state. So this one shows you basically the center, the bounding boxes, and then some of the zoom level. And sometimes you want to quickly, for example, I want to find this location. I want to see that in other software. Then you can copy the coordinates and you can just simply paste. And also the last one here is the minimap. So allows you to have a minimap. They can switch to different location. Okay, another feature of GeoLibre is it has lots of plugins, and you can use it to access a lot more functionality. You can also create your own plugin. Again, I don't have time to show you all the details in this video, but let me quickly show you how to share the project. So for example, once you are done with this, you can easily share the project. So you can click here, share. You will need to go to the GeoLibre website and then to create a token. So for example, once you're here, then you can generate a token. You need to sign up an account. So if you don't have one, just upright sign in using Google, GitHub, or you can sign up a new account. And this is the website that they use to share all the projects. So basically just a JSON file that you can upload, and you can come here, you can upload the file directly from the computer. And let me show you, right? If I go to here, and I can simply just save it, and then I have this demo, for example, here. This is the one that I show you, right? And then you can upload the file directly, or if you want, you can also generate a token. So for example, I can go back to my settings here, and then I can create a token. For example, this is a demo token, and then you can set an expiration date, maybe 7 days, or you can make it like no expiration, and then just click generate. So for example here, then I can copy this one, and after that I can come back to the settings here, and then go to environment settings, then just paste this one directly here, click save settings. Now if I go to the share here, it will open this one directly. So in that way you don't have to upload manually. So for example, I can see here 3 types demo, okay? And then by default, if you want to be public or you want to be unlisted, so I can select public or private by yourself, then just click share. It should take only a couple seconds, and now I have this URL that I can share with anybody. Just copy and then paste into the browser, and boom, you have the same one that you saw. And this is completely static website. It's no server. It's all basically using the static live demo that I hosted on GitHub pages. If you want to preview it using just in the GeoLibre, click this one. It will take you to the full view, kind of similar to what we did earlier in this one. So and you can share the link with anybody. They can just open the link. They will see the same data. But you also have these panels, layer, styling, and also the attribute table. If you don't want that, you can go back here, click this one, open map only. Then it's just going to open the map without any side panel. So this one to show you, sometimes you don't want the user to have a lot of the controls, then you can just share this one. Essentially, just add these query parameters to the URL. That's it. If I remove it, the map only, hit enter, you will see the full menu. So you can see how it's very easy to customize the data. And there's also, you can install the plugin right now. This is only one sample plugin, but the idea is that you can extend the functionality. So if you go to the plugin page, this one shows you more information about how to develop a plugin and also how to upload your plugin to GitHub. So this is a GitHub repository. If you develop any plugin, you're free to submit a pull request. Then your plugin is going to be available for anyone to search and use. Kind of similar to the QGIS plugin system, but this is based on TypeScript, so you can easily extend this one to visualize data in 3D. Okay, so the video is getting very long, so I don't have time to get into all the features. So maybe in the next video, I'll show you how to use some of the plugin and also some of the data processing. But this is certainly something that you can try, and it's very low buy. All you need is just a browser, and you can also run things on the desktop app on your cell phone, and you can do all of the data processing if you want to. But feel free to try it out, and if you have any feature requests, leave a comments down below, or submit issue on the GitHub repository. So and bookmark give a star on GitHub, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.